Okay, I got an order for 6 airports, like to hunt with, but they're not gonna be able to hunt with. You could, let me get this straight. Let's start all over. I got an order for knife blades and 6 airports. And what this guy does with these airports and knife blades, he puts the knives on the handle, he sells them at the flea market. He puts the airports on cane shafts or wooden shafts, he sells them at the flea market. So you could hunt with them, but it's probably just gonna be for decoration, what I'm trying to say. But anyway, I'm gonna do a video on making them out of thicker stuff and thinner stuff, and I hope you might enjoy it. I'm not gonna talk a lot to it, which is kind of hard for me, and I've said so many times, and it's true, when it gets this hot I have to be real careful talking so much, because I talk so slow. If I'm outside as slow as I talk, my tongue will get sunburned, and Vaseline and a load does not taste good in your mouth. Whatever that aloe, they call that stuff, that old stuff you put on burns and things. And I talked to my friend next door, and he went to gather his chicken eggs yesterday evening, and he told me that he's going to start gathering his chicken eggs early in the morning. So he went to get them yesterday evening. They were hard boiled. The sun got so hot, and it's been so hot around here that when he gathered the eggs, it was already cooked. He said he'd come up with an idea of getting out there in the morning real early and getting about 10 of them and shaking them real hard and then putting them back in the nest, and he'd have scrambled eggs when he got out there to get them. But anyway, he's trying to let y'all know it's hot. Thank goodness for my little window unit and here my fan. I'll have to leave here about 11 o'clock. It gets so hot in here I can't stay in this building. One of them little all metal buildings. And that air conditioner I got, not big enough to do the job. It's cool at night. I turn it on, leave it on all night. Then I cut it off about 12. When I go to the house, 11 o'clock. Whenever I get so hot, I have to go. Okay, this is a pretty thick piece. I think you noticed that when I started on it. And the main thing I'm trying to do, rather than shape it or anything else, is thin this joker. Get all this humps out. So I'm using a heavier bopper than I would normally use, because I talk about weight moving mass, and I'm trying to move a lot of mass. And I want no hinges, no mess up, so I'm going to use this for a while. Once I get this mass moved, I'll swap down to a smaller one. I said yesterday on the video I did, I was making an axe head or a tomahawk head, what are you gonna call it? But I can make that. But as far as finished stuff like airports and stuff like that, I don't think I'm gonna continue to do this, because I can't pressure plate. When I had my surgery to put my defibrillator in and pacemaker, they cut that muscle in my chest, and I just don't have the strength. If I try to use it, it's just not there. They cut me right across here up through there, but that isn't the main problem. The strength's not there, but I can still do it. But when I do it, it hurts so bad, because I have a torn or tear in my rotator cuff, and I've done all the physical therapy I can do on it, They say the next is surgery. And I don't want to do surgery. So that's as far as I'm taking that piece. And I'm going to leave it right there, and I'm going to finish it with a small one. Here's a piece that's got all these little white lines you see here are like some kind of shell in there. This is the only part that's good, I think, right in here, so I'm going to go ahead and break this off real quick. Got that shell in it. Now I got all that out of there. There's a few little pieces in here on this side, but they're not on this side. And I think it'll work. I'm going to start trying to shape it up. And naturally, this is going to be my point end. This is going to be the base end. I'm going to start thinning the base real good by running some flakes down it. Run them back the other way. Got plenty of room to take the length off. If I didn't have room to make it shorter, I would come across this way instead of that way. But I'd much rather go down it like a flute and get kind of a uniform thin on the base of it. Doing it like this. Okay, now, the base is thin enough. Start working on this side. I need to bring this way. I'm going to start right here, so we got a square edge. Do a little flip-flopping. Back and forth. Back and forth. Getting rid of this square edge. I ran that plate. I wish I'd have told you what I was doing before I did it. There was a hinge right there. So I run this plate this way, and look at that, it took that hinge out. And it thinned all that down through there. So I'm gonna do the same thing over here. Run this plate this way. Try to run it right up through there. Right up through there. Now, I did not grind on that. When you see I'm not grinding, I don't need to grind. I'm setting up a platform. Like that. I don't need to grind there. This is getting pretty good shape here. About ready to swap down to the smaller billet on this. I run this one this way, like this. Run down through like that. That one's in pretty good shape. It's ready for the thistle. Here's a piece of obsidian that I broke. Yep, break them all the time. That's the good thing about a video. If you break something, you just delete it out of it. Boy, I'd never say that guy break his thing. Trust me, we do all the time. That was a high risk move right here, trying to flute this obsidian. And when I say fluted, I mean thin the base. It's just like fluting, you're running channels on it. So the obsidian's pretty brittle. If you hit the wrong angle, you don't have it gripped just right, you're going to snap that half in two doing that right there. And I don't recommend it. But if you've been doing it a long, long time and you know what you're doing, but for beginners, I do not recommend that. What I was taught, learning to flatten out, you always thin your tip and your base first, and thin your middle last. The middle is the last part of the rock you want to touch. But when you got a slab, the middle just as thick as all the rest of it. But still, if you can get the two ends thin first, then you get more aggressive with the middle if you need to. That's the reason I say I don't recommend trying to flute a port when you're making it like that, just to thin it in the base. So it's going to go down and that flute plate's going to run down to the center of it. It's going to be more thin at the center where it feathers out probably. Make it easier to break. I think I will put this one up. It's already in good shape. See if I can knock that solid bark off out there without breaking it with this big billet. Nope. Try again. I got half of it. Try to run one down a long way. Come this way. Got that out. Alright. 1, 2, 3. Gotta make 6 of them. Oh, look at here. Pull out another piece of obsidian. So we're gonna thin the base real good. And it's squared off. It goes off square. I'm gonna have to zigzag it. Got a piece in my finger right there, a little bitty piece. That's been ordinary rock, that wouldn't have happened. That's why I don't like obsidian. Wear gloves. I'm not gonna wear gloves. I hate gloves. I tried wearing them, and I can't. You just can't get the feel of things. Well, you're not wearing good enough gloves. You're not getting them thin enough. You need to get some of them pigskin gloves. You need to do this, you need to do that. Well, I'm going to do what I want to do. How about that? I'm not going to wear no gloves. Been napping for over 50 years and I hadn't wore. I'm not planning on wearing them. In fact, if you wore gloves, back when I started napping in 1969 and 70, way back in there where I started learning. And then back in the, say 1990s, late 1980s, those guys would laugh you off the flint napping ground. You come out with gloves on. If I could wear them and felt comfortable with them, I would wear them. I have nothing against them. I'm just not going to do it. So don't go say I have something against people wearing gloves. Didn't say that. Now this one here is way too long. But I'll shorten it out when I get ready to hit on it with the smaller billet. Actually, this was good enough. I'll probably just pressure plate it. Alright, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's ready for the small billet. That's 5. Now look how thick this is. Up here was real thin down there. Now look, I've got an actual platform. I'm gonna hit, watch this. I'm gonna hit way up there on it. And by doing that, I moved a lot of mass real quick. I knew the point was strong enough to stand it. The rock was, there's not a point yet. I've seen all that limestone around it. Now watch this. I'm gonna come back this way and raise this edge up. I'm gonna come back under it. I like coming behind things and flipping behind it. When you move the plate behind it, it makes it weak up here. So if you're standing on a bank in the river and the river's undermined it underneath you, you don't see it, but it makes it weaker underneath, and it's liable to cave off while you're on there. That's exactly what I'm doing here. I'm going this way, and I'm going, look here, all these plates going this way. None of them went directly into it. That was a percussion bulb there. It was a big old thick piece. And I figured that was the best way to thin it. Now I'm going to go straight across. Got it pretty thin. Look how I'm doing it. Okie dokie. This dips in here, all this is waste. I'm going to come up here pretty high and hit down this way and get rid of all this waste. There we go. Got rid of that. Now, and I'm going to get rid of all of this limestone on the end here. This piece of Georgetown. Remember I talked to you about hitting it on the end. It's about the same thickness the middle is, so anyway, I've got enough experience under my belt to get away with this, but I still break it sometimes. And here's what happened. I'll have a pretty piece going to give you a good illustration. Now, so you know, if I hit it on the end and run a nice channel down it, and kept it in the middle real good, and I done spent 20 minutes on that point working on it. And I'll hit it on the end and break the middle every time. And I'll sit there and I'll say, why did I do that? And my biggest response is, I won't say the devil made me do it, or my brother made me do it, or something like that. Knowing better. So usually you won't ever see me doing it once I got one real thin or almost finished. But in the early stages I will. Because if I broke it, I hadn't had it in my hand over 10, 15 minutes. That lost a lot of time. Okay, this side's pretty good. Got a high ridge right here, some hinges in the middle. I'm gonna bring this side in and they make it a lot narrower anyway. And chop down on it like this. That's gonna give me a lot of convexity. Now I'm gonna come up, raise this edge up above center line. I'm gonna have a lot of convexity to help me move this mass. Show you how I turned it down. What a good platform I got. I'm gonna do it this way. See how it's turned like that? Look at that good platform I got. Look at that. Like running all the way across. Look how thin I got that. No time. Well, I can't hit this one. There we go. Trying to hit it. I'm trying to shave that edge. Got it right there in the first time. I'm trying to knock this up. I'm gonna get this point real sharp. There we go. All right, that one's ready. Okay, that's enough. But I would like to do one more in case when I go to the center billet, I break one. I'll have another one to replace it. Here's one that's pretty thick. I wasn't gonna do it, but I guess I will. Let me get my big hammer over because it's so thick. I was gonna work it down and sell it for a bigger freeform than an air point freeform would be. But we're gonna go ahead and use it. This is too steep down, it's almost square. Gonna get up here on this tip. And I'm trying to, it's hard to do because I had a bunch of hinges up there, that's why I kept hitting. And if I did mess up, all of this is gonna be waste, so I didn't care. I'm just hoping it would work. It would make it easy on what I was doing, and it did work. Okay, now, I'm gonna come around here. I'm gonna hit this way, angling this way. I'm gonna show you what's gonna happen. Look how it cut behind this. Got a hang over here. Just hit down like this because it cut behind it. It moved real easy, and I got a perfect platform right there. I'm in a perfect platform. Run that across through there. Look at that. I like to use my solid copper billet when I'm moving thick air because my hollow boppers is my favorite tool. It wears them out so quick. So once I get it shaped, I'll use the smaller boppers instead of wearing my big ones out. And it don't cost nothing to make them. As far as making them, except buying the caps, copper caps. Cause them jokers, when you buy one that big around, you're talking about $6 or $8. And I prefer to use this. Now I swap to this. And you see how this one's already wearing out? When it starts getting that valley in it like that, I chuck them away. Start over. Well, I don't chuck away. I put them in a bag. I hope I have $1 million worth for today to sell. Highest copper getting. That'd be about like $1 million in the future. Probably buy a piece of bubble gum. Boy, this stuff we're going through is crazy, man. Money, 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 money. You walk in the door and blink your eyes and you spend $100 at a grocery store or a pharmacy. I take a pill, and I promise you I'm not lying. I'm on Medicare and supplements. I got a good supplement. Most of my medicine's free because of the supplement, but that I pay for. And the supplement's not that cheap, but I have to have it because one medicine that I have to take for my heart, listen up now, is $800 for the first 2 months out of my pocket. $600 for the next 2 months out of my pocket. $400 for the next 2 months out of my pocket. And then the rest of the year is $200 a month. That same medicine, I was told, if I bought it in Mexico, would be about $30. We did some crazy mess. Okay, we're going to try to do some serious damage and move these plates all the way at least to the middle right there. I don't know if you can see that pencil line with the light like it is, but anyway. That one went right to where my thumb is. That one went right to the same place. And guess what? Old mess ups. I did not. I committed the #1 sin in Flint Knife. If you're gonna knock you a good platform off, grind them edges. And I didn't grind up here. I ground right in the middle and that way. Thought I had, and I didn't look, and I hit, and it just shattered. But she's gonna run now. Look at that. Went back and ground her. Okay, this one's way long. I'm gonna try to thin the point real good. If I break it off, try to make it real thin. And I'm gonna shorten it from the base. If I break it off from the point, it'll still be long enough. I'm bringing this edge up on the point on this side now. And I'm gonna make sure I grind the whole thing. Start on this end. Woo, that was good. Man, I got that point thin. I had these metal folding chairs outside to Flint Knife is so you could get out of the dust. And it's so hot when I sit on one, I branded my rear end. I had a brand on there for about 3 months before the scar went away. What I'm trying to say is hot. I'm thinking about how we get forward air conditioning. We never had no air conditioning when I was a kid. We didn't even have a fan when I was about 6 years old. I finally got electricity where I was living with my grandparents. And I don't know how we survived. We lived in Texas with no electricity. It was East Texas, a little town called Cassie. Wasn't nothing but a hole in the wall back there. It's about all it is now. They're mining some kind of sand or dirt out of that, some kind of minerals or something out of that town now. It's built it up a little bit. And people coming in to work those mines. But I was thinking when I was, I don't know, probably 15, we had a mule and Dad planted about, I don't know, a lot of acres of corn, a good bit. I don't want to say, I just don't know. And that was my job in the summertime, was to plow that corn. And I remember plowing all day long, putting me a sack lunch on the shade of the tree, biscuit or something like that, and I had a thing of water. Didn't have no bottles back then. Had a big old jug, glass jug of water. Mom was fixing. Didn't have no ice in it because ice wouldn't last you if I had it in it. And I would play all day long. My clothes would be so rain wet with sweat, it'd be unbelievable. And I've seen, not myself now, I have not done this, but I've seen people picking cotton all day long out in the sun. And I'm talking about cotton is the hottest time of year when they're picking it sometime. And I've seen them working in the garden in August all day long. And they talking the other day about some kids that call off football practice. We don't have football practice because they're too hot to practice with the kids out there in the sun. And I'm thinking, man, why is that? I'm just digging in here and I'm rambling y'all with Steve looking for something else. I said, why are they doing that? And then all of a sudden it hit me. I can't stay in this building until about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. Because the air conditions, our system has got used to being cool and warm in the winter. And I think that has a lot to do with it. If we're raised under air conditions and stuff, if you didn't have it, your system was a whole lot different. It was adjusted to the heat and all. All right, I'm gonna stop this one. I'm gonna start it back up using a little billet.